Hi, we're gonna talk a little bit about Animal Farm, written by George Orwell. I have a quiet story with this book because they gave it to me to read it when I was in junior high, I think. And I didn't. I just read some chapters, but not in order, so I didn't have the story quite well. But later on, I decided to read it because I remember people telling me that it's a book that you need to read once in your life, at least. So I decided to read it, and I was amazed because of how easy it was to read, and the message that it gave. Well, and I really like that our teacher Nathan gave us the opportunity to have extra credit because of it. So yeah, that's why I'm doing this video. Well, but what I'm going to do is talk a little bit about each chapter in the book. There are 10 chapters, and okay, the first chapter. Here, they introduce us to different characters, but for me, the most important ones were Mr. Jones and the old mayor. Mr. Jones is the owner of the farm, and well, we can describe him as a drunk man who has a lot of debts and doesn't take care of the farm as well as he should. And the old mayor. The old mayor is the oldest pig and the wisest one. Well, the story starts when Mr. Jones forgot to close the henhouse trapdoor. And because of this, all the animals decide to make a reunion to talk about different stuff. And the one who made this reunion, or who told the animals to make it, was the old mayor. He felt that death was coming up for him, and he needed to talk about the problems of the farm. Well, here the old mayor revealed how Mr. Jones mistreated them, and the urge of them to reveal themselves and take control of the farm. So the old mayor talked a little bit about the bad conditions that they were living in, and how they could take control of the farm. And this caused a little bit of commotion because not all the animals were agreeing with it. And well, Mr. Jones got woken up because of the commotion, and he frightened the animals away by firing his shotgun. Well, 3 days later, after teaching the old zombies of England to the animals, the old mayor died. Well, now the second chapter. Here we meet Snowball, Napoleon, and Squealer, who are three little pigs, who were like who were okay. They were the ones who knew more about the old mayor ideas, and created or taught the other animals about this way of thinking named animalism. Well, something important about these little pigs is that pigs were the most intelligent animals in this farm, and they were the ones who started the revolution. And these three little pigs had different characteristics that made them great leaders. Napoleon was a pretty, like maybe strong and moody pig who really was used to getting things done the way he liked it. And there's Snowball, who is a really outgoing pig, but that doesn't have a strong way of thinking and stuff like that. And the last one, Squealer, was a really uh, someone, or was a pig. I don't know. It's weird talk about animals, so that's why maybe I'm confusing myself a little bit. But the thing here is that he had a really strong ideas, and knew how to defend them, and he was the well no the most known of the three little pigs, uh, by all the animals. I'm sorry, I'm getting distracted, but it's because of this little cat. Well, the thing here is that they created animalism and taught the other animals about it. And well, here are two other characters pretty important. Um, the horses. Uy, I don't know how to say it in English, but it's Boxeador y Trébol, who really were agreeing with what the pigs were thinking and taught the other animals about it. Because remember, I said that the pigs were the most intelligent ones, and sometimes it, they got they confused the other animals. So Trébol and Boxer, I'm sorry. Well, Trébol and Boxer were the ones who like translate these complicated messages to the rest of the animals. Well, because of Mr. Jones' problem with alcohol, he started to don't care about the farm. Just don't take care of it, and all the animals start to get hungry and to really understand why the pigs were acting the way they okay. Because of Mr. Jones' problem with alcohol, he didn't take care of the farm at all, and that led to the animals to really be hungry and really understand why the old's major idea was so important, and why they did to take action. Well, because of this situation, they invaded the storeroom in search of food. And well, Mr. Jones and his employees attempt to remove the animals and take them to the stables and hen houses, but they didn't like it, and the revolution started. All the animals started fighting the way they could, and well, this ended a victory for them because Mrs. Jones, when she was looking at this fight, she just took all the things that she needed to and went away. And Mr. Jones and all the employees were fighting, but at the end, if I remember well, Trébol and no, it was. Wait, let me look for the name of this horse. Boxer, Boxer, I think. Boxer kicked one of the employees and killed him, and this terrified all the rest of the people, and the people went away, and it was the first victory for the animals. And well, yeah, and well, when Napoleon claimed victory and invited all the animals to eat as they like, and they sing the song Beast of England. Beast of England, yeah. And well, let's remember that they had secret meetings, and in these secret meetings, the pigs got the books from Mr. Jones' sons, and they learned how to read and try to teach all the rest of the animals how to read, but not all the animals could do it because not all animals were as intelligent as the pigs. So just for the ones who didn't know how to read or didn't get to learn, they write they wrote 7 different like laws that they needed to follow. The first one is that whatever goes upon 2 legs is an enemy, a human. Whatever goes upon 4 legs or has wings is a friend. No animal shall wear clothes. No animal shall sleep in a bed. And no animal shall drink alcohol. No animal shall kill any other animal. And finally, all animals are equal. And this ends the second chapter. Yes.
Well, in the third chapter, we can discover a little bit about how the ones who started the revolution started to get some benefit from it. Well, as I mentioned before, even though they try to teach the rest of the animals how to read, no all of them could do it. For example, the ones who really couldn't read were the goats. No es cierto.
Well, and so on. The animals had a routine every week about the work that they needed to do, except on Sundays. On Sundays, they woke up 1 hour later, breakfast and pardon, breakfast was also 1 hour later, and just it was a day to relax a little bit. And on Sundays, they held a meeting about what they're going to do in the week. During these meetings, the pigs talk about how they're going to manage the farm and stuff like that, right? And well, in this chapter, we can see how pigs were doing weird stuff for themselves, to benefit themselves, and started to claim that they were, special, but not at all, and they needed to be treated well because they were thinking, and even though they were not doing hard labor, just like the horses, they were thinking a lot, and that's why they needed special treats. For example, I remember that cow milk was not used because only humans needed it, but later on pigs claimed the cow's milk and started to say that they needed they needed the milk to get mixed with pig's food because they were doing such a hard work that cows or the rest of the animals couldn't understand, because they were thinking and they were organizing stuff like that. And if you remember well, I said that they were trying to teach the rest of the animals how to read, but not all the animals could learn as easy as the pigs. So they created a committee to teach the rest of the animals how to read, but it was a little unsuccessful. The pigs, the goats, and the donkeys were the best readers, and the dogs, horses barely past a few letters, while other animals struggled to learn even a single letter. Instead of teach them how to read, they made them memorize the 7 commandments or the 7 laws, as I said before. And if that was pretty difficult, they just said, they told them one phrase in order to memorize it and make all the 7 commandments easier, which was 4 legs good, 2 legs bad. That was the primary goal of animalism movement. Animalism. And yeah. Well, in chapter 3, there's a really important thing, which is that there were, I think, 2 female dogs who had puppies. And Napoleon took all the puppies, and later on nobody asked for them. Nobody knew where the puppies were, and the time just passed, and animals forgot about it. But this is important later on in the story, so this is why I mention it. Well, in chapter 4, Mr. Jones talked um, with people from other farms, and well, the important thing is that he decided to go again to the farm, thinking that the farm wouldn't be working as well as it used to be when he was in charge. And when he went, um, it was not what he thought. Animals were actually prepared for this invasion, and I think Squirrel or Snowball, I think that it was Snowball, had a plan for this, and all the animals fight again with with the humans, and they won again. And yeah, actually that's chapter 4. I don't want to explain it because it's more descript it's more description than other thing. So I don't think it is important. It is a important chapter, but it's just that they won a second battle, and that's all. Well, the fifth chapter. I said chapter is important because we can see here that there are different, or the problems start in the farm because winter is coming, and not all the animals can work with the cold, and not all animals are working as much as others, and the field is hard, and they cannot um, cultivate their food and stuff like that. And well, here we can we can we can notice that Snowball and Napoleon have different ideas, because Napoleon wants wants things to work the way he likes them, and Snowball wants to uh, make some changes in the farm, and wants to improve the farm in order to make it more efficient and stuff like that. And Snowball, no, Napoleon doesn't like that. And well, the important thing is that Snowball wants to do a
Well, Snowball wants to do a windmill in order to create energy and make things easier for them. But Napoleon doesn't like that, and Snowball, vente, vente, and Snowball, even though he created a whole plan how to build the windmill, um, Napoleon didn't like it. And here it's important what I said about the puppies, because the puppies were not puppies anymore. They were really strong and pretty fear dogs who attacked Snowball in because of Napoleon orders. And well, here starts the fall of the well, of the animalism. And well, a squirrel started to take an important role because he started to to tell the rest of the animals uh, the different news about the decision or the decision making in the farm, because they were not going to health reunions anymore. Pigs were just going to take decisions, and squirrel was going to communicate those decisions. The rest of the animals were not having a voice in the committee. Uh, yeah, in the committee, and well, now was like um, a farm managed by pigs, where pigs were no animals anymore. They were just like humans. Like the transformation begins, let's say like that. Let's say like that. And well, um, the thing here is that Squirrel starts to create a narrative about Snowball and how he was the villain of this story, and how the windmill project was actually a Napoleon's idea, and that he stole it, and that the windmill was going to be done, but in so much more time that Snowball said. So well, in chapter 6, wait.
Um, the windmill started to be built, and all the animals needed to volunteer for different stuff during the construction. But the thing here is that, yeah, it was voluntary, but the animals who were not going to help or decided not to help, they were having a small portion of food. So you needed to work in order to get the portion that you needed. So, yeah, uh, things start to change, and the dogs from that Napoleon had were like a arm for the rest of the animals to be afraid of. And yeah, the pigs were and started to make changes about the way they live. The first change, the first thing that they did was to live in Mr. Jones' house. They were not living anymore with the animals, and well, with the rest of the animals, they were living in Mr. Jones' house, and Napoleon was all the time there, and no other animals saw it, and all the decision making was being taken care by the pigs and stuff like that. And and even though all the animals started to, think about how things were going different and they were not uh, actually being equal, uh, Squirrel was the one to change the narrative. It started to tell them that why they needed to live there. It started to tell them how pigs were going or were working as much as them, but they couldn't understand it because they were not as intelligent as them, and stuff like that. But in chapter 7 starts the really um, the really no the starts the important changes. Remember the 7 rules, or the 7, I said, commitments. No, it was not commitments. It was the 7 commandments. Well, one of them, it was that no animal shall sleep in a bed. Well, since the pigs were living in Mr. Jones' house, they started to sleep in beds, and animals started to say that that was weird. But later on, the 7 commandments changed. The one who said that no animals shall sleep in a bed didn't say that anymore. It said that no animal shall sleep in a bed with sheets. So it was like a way of saying that they could do it, but if they just the way they did it, right? Also, just the way pigs did it. So it was weird, and Squirrel always changing the narrative, explaining why that was good for the pigs to do it, and stuff like that. Well, the thing here is that the windmill was uh, was being built, and one of the animals who worked as really hard to get that project done was Boxer. And well, the thing here is that the farm was not doing as well as they would like to, and they didn't to trade with other farms, in order to to be a better farm. I don't know. And well, the important, um, well, what was important here is that because of this necessity of having more resources, uh, the pigs decided that the chicks needed to give all the eggs that they produced, and they were not having this news pretty well because they didn't do it, and when they did it was when Mr. Jones was in charge. So they were not supposed to give those eggs, and well, they were obligated, and in response they I don't know how to say it. Let's say that they were like in a high place, and when they produce or create the egg just fell, and yeah, and the egg was not useful anymore. Cracked. Well, the egg cracked, and it was not useful anymore. Well, Napoleon was not happy about it, and sent the dogs with the chicks and killed some of them, and because they were frightened of being killed, they started giving their eggs to Napoleon and to the pigs, and they sell it. And well, um, yeah, that's the thing. Anyway, I'm reading my notes. That's why I'm kind of getting a little bit slow. Well, the thing here is that remember that Squirrel started to change the narrative about what happened with Bolan Snowball. I'm sorry, Snowball. Well, because I think that I didn't mention, but when Napoleon sent the dogs to to Snowball, nobody knew what happened to him. He just ran away, and they started to create this story about Snowball being in other farm trying to well, they started to blame Snowball about all the bad things that happened to the farm, and started to tell him that he was a enemy of the animal farm and stuff like that. Well, the point here is that later on in the chapter, um, Napoleon was named hero of first class, animal hero of first class, and the dogs were named animal heroes of second class, and they started to act like humans because um, Napoleon showed his power, attacking or sending his dogs to attack the rest of the animals, um, because they were young pigs who were not happy the way things were working because of Napoleon, and he was not getting happy he was not happy with this kind of nonsense, and he sent his dogs to attack these pigs, and some of them died. Well, anyways, there's chapter 8. Chapter 8 starts with another change of the 7 commandments. Remember that one of them said, "No animal shall kill any other animal." Well, it changed. Now it said, "No animal shall kill another animal without a reason." So the narrative was being changed, and things start to get worse for the ones who were not pigs. And that's the important part. The ones who were not pigs were the ones who really suffered because they had no privilege. In comparison with the pigs, yeah. Well, the point here is that uh, animals were not unhappy with it because at least they were not as miserable as they were with Mr. Jones. But well, anyways, the point here is that after 2 years of work, the windmill was finally um, built, and well, Boxer, who was the horse, yeah, okay, the windmill was finished, but got destroyed by humans, and and well, even though it was like sad, um, they the pigs said that a windmill needed to be built again. But let's remember that the one who worked as a who worked hola, who worked the most was Boxer, the horse. But he was not young anymore. He was not as strong as he used to, and even though he wanted to work as much as he used to, he couldn't. And well, I didn't say it, but the humans to no, the humans who destroyed the windmill were not captured, but were sent away. And this was like the third battle that the animals held, and because of it, the pigs celebrated and got drunk. And well, because of this, animals noticed that, and they were not agreeing with it. And again, one of the seven commandments got changed. The one who said no animal shall drink alcohol, now it said no animal shall drink alcohol, uh, or yeah, wait, no, it said no animal shall drink a lot of alcohol, or something like that. That they just don't that it says that they could drink, but not as much to get drunk. Anyways, the one of the last chapters is chapter 9, and this is where things get really bad because let's remember the Boxer wanted to continue working, but he couldn't do it. He couldn't do as much as he wanted to do, and he got sick. And well, um, Squirrel said that they were going to send them to the what's the word for it, to the vet. And the point here is that when when the car that was going to send Boxer to the vet didn't say that it was made, well, that it was from a vet. It said that it was from a, oh, how can I say it? It said that it was from a company who trade, how do we say the skin of the, who trade the leather and parts of different animals. So um, I think that it was Trébol who said that they were going to kill a Boxer, and Squirrel said that they were not going to kill Boxer, and that he was there when Boxer died, and that Boxer was really sad because they said that, and that he said that the pigs were really important, and that the pigs were like an important part of the animal community and stuff like that. And also in this chapter, they started to make a difference between the rest of the animals and the pigs. The pigs started to wear a ribbon, a green ribbon in its tail, and they needed to be treated differently because of just being a pig. Well, um, and also there's something important here, is that, well, I think that I didn't mention it before, but the sheep were the least intelligent animals, so they needed to taught them simple things, and it was the most, oh, I don't know how to say it, maybe the ones who can manipulate the most. So once they took them all, and just like the puppies, nobody knew where they were, but Napoleon and the rest of the pigs were um, teaching them some other phrases, just like Napoleon is always right, um, that humanity was good and stuff like that. Well, the thing here is that in the tenth chapter, uh, mm, life was different. Like they were not as bad as they were with Mr. Jones, but they weren't as good as the pigs. And well, different animals arrive because they hear about the revolution, stuff like that. And well, the thing here is that even though the animals said that they were not trading with humans, they did, and and they started to to sell certain stuff from the farm, and they started to talk about not to talk with humans in order to make that farm greater and greater. And well, at the end, um, they started walking two legs, and again it was different. They didn't in the seven commandments they say that no animal should walk in two legs, so it was weird. And actually, once in the night, I think they heard some noise and they saw squirrel with some bucket of paint um, in front of the seven commandments. And now this the one who said that no animal should walk in two legs was different. I don't remember what it said, but it was different. It was like that they could walk in two legs. But later on, the the one which was the most important one, the one who said all animals are equal, changed. And now it said all animals are equal, but some are are more special than others. And well, the thing here is that in the third chapter, the last part of this chapter, some animals view from the window of Mr. Jones' house. Remember that now pigs live in Mr. Jones' house. So in one table, humans and pigs playing cards and drinking, and they were talking and they were uh, sitting in the same table. And since they were playing, I think that a human and a pig, that was Napoleon, and I think that one was I don't remember who it was, but cheat on the game or something like that, and all the pigs and all the humans started to argue, and in the end, the rest of the animals couldn't say which one was a human or a pig. They were the same, and they were still animals that were not as good as a human or even as a pig. And yeah, that's all the book, and it's a pretty cool book. But yeah, it, I don't know, it's just a pretty interesting book to read, and you just at, at least when I end my reading, I was just like, "Uy, this is something that was written a long time ago, but it's not as different today as maybe people from the past would like to. But well, I hope I made a good summary of each chapter, or at least a decent one. And yeah, that's all. Thank you.